It's April 3rd, 2024. I am Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. I'm back, baby, and it's nice to be home. Jeremy Lambert's here. My boss. Well, not really my boss. You're just a nice guy that I
No, if I was your actual boss, you would have been fired already, Joel.
That's true. We wouldn't be doing this show. I would be somewhere in the middle of Toronto begging and pleading for work. Actually, I already do that. So anyway, so how we doing? It's a good day. It's Wednesday. It's overcast skies. So let's just give you the weather report now. People are on their way to Philadelphia, where it's even more rain and even more overcast skies. We got plenty to talk about because wrestling's back. I haven't been back. I don't know what's going on. We're going to catch up. We're going to talk. We're going to hang out. Jeremy Lambert's here. How you doing, Jeremy?
Monday was... I was prepared for this week, right? Like, it's WrestleMania week. I'm not naive. I know this is the busiest week of the year. I train for this every single year. This is what I'm prepared for. I was even prepared.
Hold on, you're doing like all night type alongs.
Yeah.
Some people do watch along. Some people prep their voice. No, Jeremy's sitting. He's got a typewriter in bed, and his wife ever is just like, "What are you doing?" And you're just like, "Baby, got to get ready. You got to stay ready. You got to be like Matt Cardona. You got to be always ready. Click, 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 ding." And she just stays up and she hates your guts for it. I get it.
I mean, this is about factual. And if I don't have the typewriter, like I'm on my phone and doing articles, she will legitimately be like, "Are you doing articles from your phone?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, you gotta stop. You gotta be stopped. Someone's gotta put a password and lock your accounts.
Some people have secret shames. Some people, like, you know, you want like very tame ones. One guy on Reddit was like, after my wife falls asleep, I order a medium pizza and 8 wings and I eat it in the backyard and she doesn't know about it. Some people have much more secret shames. Jeremy's secret shame is that he works too hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. But like, so I was prepared for this week. I was even prepared for Monday. Because when it was announced that CM Punk was going to be on Helwani's show last week, I was like, yeah, that's going to be something. I was not prepared for new information in the Vince McMahon lawsuit. I was not prepared for AEW releases. I was prepared for CM Punk. That was what I thought it was. Yesterday, we had Ronda Rousey making comments. This has been a month already. We're 3 days into the month, and it's been a month.
I can't believe I missed our monthly Monday takeover, and then all the fun started on Wednesday.
Here's the thing: Monday, nothing like SP3 and I. Like the show was fine, but like since SP3 was on Friday, it felt like we covered a lot of the same ground on Monday because the Punk interview hadn't happened yet. The AEW releases hadn't happened yet. It was, and even the love letter stuff hadn't come out yet. Like that information hadn't even come out yet. Like so SP3 and I didn't have a whole lot to talk about. Honestly, it was after the show that like everything really went down. And then it was like, oh, all right, well now, you know, the show itself, it was just, we'll just talk about, I guess, SmackDown. Stuff happened on that. We'll preview Raw. But everything happened at like 12 o'clock, like after the show on Monday.
Yeah, the Janel Grant love letter story dropped. I think it was a 12:15 on Monday, yeah. And I was like, oh, they were not going to have time to cover this, and I kind of went back and just kind of looked, and yeah, I didn't get to watch. I don't watch the products. Who am I kidding? Friday and Monday. I mean, I watched some of Friday. I watched the opening because you were kind of on the struggle bus. God bless. You got through it.
I was doing fine. Look, that one was on, you know, that one was not planned. Monday was at least a planned.
No, Friday was not planned.
Yeah, Friday was not planned. That's what I said.
I mean, Friday, you knew that I wasn't going to be there Friday.
Yes, but I did not know SP3 was not going to show up.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty common. Yeah. But Monday, you knew that I wouldn't be there. So you did what you did, and that's fine. But yeah, Friday was hilarious to me. I was watching. I was in a car with my in-laws heading to Ottawa, and I was just like, "What's going on here?" We're just driving down the highway, and I'm like, "Why is Jeremy just full screen solo, just filibustering for the sake of doing the show?" God bless.
You know, I got to give the people what they want. I'm not here to miss shows. I'm here to work, especially Mania week. I know Friday wasn't technically Mania week, but the final Friday before Mania week.
That's what you do. You just make shit up.
Yeah.
Love
Albert for jumping in Friday.
What's that?
So bless John Albert for jumping in on Friday.
Yes, thank you, John Alba. I apparently took his job tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Love Wrestling. It's probably Spenny because he's on his way over to Philly for WrestleMania week. Say hello, Jill and Jeremy. I'm in Toronto on a 7-hour layover. Why? Why are you? That's absurd. Is that a planned layover? Not good. Also, if you knew you were doing this layover, why didn't you just grab the express and come see me? You could have hung out here.
Yeah, why would you want to do that?
I mean, he could have at least hung out in a place that wasn't the airport.
Why would you want to do that?
Fair. I get it. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked because we're doing well here and we want to do better. And you can make us do better by subscribing to us. It's Point to the Sign season, so get your thumbs up. WrestleMania.
There's only 2 more episodes, The Point of the Sign. 1 more now.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be 2 because let's face it, Raw After Mania is part of it. It is. It's WrestleMania Monday. Must be Mania Monday. Anyway, we got that. And donate a super chat. Any amount, get your questions statement read on the air while Jeremy gets his internet back because he is frozen solid.
All right, there
he is.
All right,
we did it. There we go. He said delays, not all planned, not at all a planned layover. I'm sorry, pal. Look at this. Y'all just sitting in an airport.
Best wishes, Spinny.
Y'all need to get there. Y'all need to get there as soon as you can because Philly's going to be a fun place this week. I'm not going to be there. Jeremy's not going to be there, so it's going to be even more fun. Jeremy, I have a big question for you.
It's going to be more fun since I'm not there?
Because we're not there. It's going to be more fun because you and I think you and I need to start an entire process wherein we try to go to Scotland for Clash at the Castle.
I don't want to do that.
No, why not?
Because
not big on international flights?
No, I don't want to do that.
Why not?
Because I just said I don't feel like going international. No, I'm not doing that.
I like international flights. So you don't want to come? Well, I thought you were going to come and see Tay here, and that's international.
I mean, I could drive to Toronto.
You could take a boat to Scotland. You'd probably have to start now.
No.
All right. Anyway, to all those traveling to Philly for Mania week, please be safe and have fun. And if you got an Airbnb, double check that it exists. There have been stories.
I believe you.
I don't know if you've seen any of these stories, but yeah,
probably not.
Books. Whoo, buddy. All right. So yesterday, speaking of big announcements, we got a big scoop that was finally announced on Tuesday, Jeremy Lambert. Do you want to talk about this big scoop that we got that we can now finally talk about openly?
Yeah, Andrew Zarian is counter programming me narrating blowjobs in the shower, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Let's find out. Z the Bell.
I'm so sorry, Jeremy.
I'm
so sorry.
Nice eyebrows.
Hey, it's Andrew Zarian of Fightful.com.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Andrew Zarian of In the Weeds. We claim you first.
We did.
You guys did claim me first. Listen, I've been working out. I'm in a new territory. I got to get in shape. I got no sleeves on.
You know, when you came
I thought you had no shirt on when I saw you backstage first off.
No. There's a shirt.
No nipples, though. No nipples. We'll get demonetized.
Hold on. You want to see something cool?
It better not be nipples.
Can you do the peck dance? Yeah, look at that.
Yes, Chris Masters about that. He didn't want to talk about
it. he taught me how to do it.
Did he?
Really?
Yeah.
What song did he teach you to do it to?
No song. Just your invasive thoughts.
Just feeling.
Just feelings. No, I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited for this. This is a whole new thing for me. This is the first new show Rich and I have done in 12 years. We've only done one show.
It's wild. So it's going to be...
It is wild.
Beyond the Bell debuts on Tuesday, April the 9th. Y'all are going to be on the main channel on Fightful.com and YouTube.com/Fightful. It's yourself and Rich Stampolian, both of whom I love. And we're going to be... You guys are going to be talking about wrestling. And you guys are going to be...
Let's see how long I last on that main channel.
You're going to get punted over the side?
I'm going to get punted over very quickly, I'm sure. No, listen, I'm so psyched for this. I've spoken about it a bunch, how really, you know, I'm a huge... Listen, I'm still with Observer. I'm still doing the shows there. That's all good. No, there's no beef. There's no problems. But, you know, this is a great opportunity. And to be honest, out of everybody in wrestling media, in journalism, Sean was the first to kind of give me that little bit of that, he propelled me when I think it was an NXT story like 3-4 years ago. And what's funny is I've always broken news on my show, but I never tweeted on my main account ever. Like I don't like making things about me. I like it to be about the show, which is weird for me to say, right?
Yeah, look at that.
I never
talking about.
Yeah, I know. I just never wanted to make it like the Andrew Zarian thing. It was always Matman. And when you don't have a face attached to something and it's just a podcast reporting something, it really doesn't resonate as well with people. They want to know who's giving them the information. So I just started posting stuff on my personal, and Sean started retweeting it. And someone's like, "Oh, that's impossible. Who is this guy?" And Sean goes, "No, he's credible. He knows people." And I had just met Sean. I had just spoken to Sean a couple times. And you know what? That changed my entire trajectory with this stuff. So we've had Joel, you've been there, and Jeremy, you too. We've spoken about like, well, what can we do? Can I do something? There's been different ideas. And it just, it was like a very quick thing. Like, okay, I'm ready to do it. He's like, whatever you want to do. And then it took me like 5 weeks to come up with a name.
That is true. That
is very true. Yeah.
And then we got the logo, and I was like, "Oh, this is coming together nicely." You're like, "Yeah, it's a rough draft."
It came together in one day. It literally, like, we came up with a name. I looked up other shows that have, if the name is still active, it wasn't an active name, and boom, I had the graphics done.
So it's funny because whenever a new show comes up, you do always have to look up like who's doing this show. Does the name already exist? Yada yada. Like I think back to Nile Rodgers, who from Chic, who did he worked on the Random Access Memories album for Daft Punk. And when they did Get Lucky, people were like, "How did you come up with that guitar riff?" He's like, "No, you can't sit on that shit for too long. Don't overthink it.
Yeah,
just go. You go and you feel and you get it. And that's what this is. Like you go and you feel and you get it. So this is going to be fun."
Yeah, I'm psyched for it, dude. And you guys have such like a great group of people. Like the support system in Fightful. No, listen, I know we could joke, right? But like the support system built in with like the people that work for Fightful and do, whatever they do, whether they're a full-time employee or not. It's an amazing, it's really great to see, like between Kate and you and Jeremy and everybody else there. I got so many DMs from people that I don't really know from Fightful. And they're like, "Welcome aboard. Welcome to the team." And it was first time that's happened. Observer's small. Like, it's Dave and Brian.
And then Brian.
And then Brian Rose. And then
Brian Rose. Yeah, no. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like the forward facing, right? Like Brian Rose is fantastic at what he does. There's a lot of people behind it. Josh Nason, another great guy. And I'm not omitting anybody. Everybody's been so tremendous there too. But as far as like forward facing on camera talent, it's Brian, it's Vinny, it's Dave, and a couple other people, really. It's not, it doesn't have the organization, but everything revolves around Dave and Brian, and it should. All the shows revolve around Dave and Brian. So we were a little different there. The audience, they're very conditioned to Dave and Brian, and they're into them. We broke through, it was fine. But I think with Fightful, I think the audience is very conditioned to seeing different perspectives and different people talking about the same topic, but having very different opinions. Like, this is a very different show than anything else on Fightful.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So everyone is, not everyone, but the vast majority of people are waiting for when Sean shows up to do stuff, because Sean, in a scoops driven business where people want to hear behind the scenes and they want to hear exclusive news and all that stuff, they want Sean. Sean is the most trustworthy newsmaker out there. And as a result, yes, whenever Sean shows up, numbers are good, unless it's
sure.
Then he's just popping in to eat some eggs and it's fun. And then he comes back when I make that joke and he busts our ratings, and here we are. But point is, the other shows that we do, there is a good mix. And then there's and again, you can see the numbers that Sean shows up, Sean makes a difference. However, other people and other characters, when they show up, they also make good business. And then they show up on this when everything goes downhill.
Yeah, listen, you guys are on fire, Fightful's great. And a lot of people were very concerned, like, well, what does this mean for you, an Observer? I'm like, I let them know. I let Tony at Observer know. For people who don't know, Dave does not run that company. Dave is not the guy cutting checks and doing all that stuff. Dave is a talent. I don't know equity wise any of that stuff, but Tony, Brian Alvarez's brother-in-law, runs that organization essentially. Fantastic human being, amazing guy. He was thrilled that I'm working with Fightful. You know, he sees the benefit. He sees the benefit of having talent grow and do other things because it only makes everything else look better. So I think this is awesome. I think this is great timing. I'm very excited for this. Very excited.
As you should.
Motivated is the word, because you know I get very unmotivated very quickly. When bad stuff happens in wrestling, I get so turned off. Like the Vince McMahon stuff turned me off tremendously.
I get it. I really do. No one wants to talk about the negative stuff that goes on in the world of wrestling, especially when wrestling is an outlet for entertainment. And when suddenly the reality of the backstage comes into play, it becomes a downer sometimes. We'd all love to be talking about, like, you know, Jason Kelsey's been approached to come to WrestleMania. We'd all love to talk about that.
Who cares about Jason Kelsey? I want to know if Taylor's going to be there.
So my favorite, by the way, can we just talk about that report for a second? I wanted to say the second that report dropped, I was like, Jeremy had no hand in this because there was only mention of Travis. That's it. No mention of who he's dating.
Oh, you know what I discovered? I didn't know this. I didn't know that this is like a knock at Fightful. I didn't know this at all. I discovered this yesterday. Oh, so another thing behind a paywall? I had no idea that was a thing, and I'm answering these people, these schmucks, like it's like a real thing. I'm like,
they're too busy.
And I'm like, no, this is on the main channel for free. And they're like, oh, let's see about that. And I'm like, what? I didn't know that. And then Kate kind of smartened me up. She's like, oh, you know, this is like a knock.
These people don't know. The stuff that we put behind the paywall, first of all, always gets put on the main after a week when it comes to news. And like, someone always aggregates it anyway. But like, come on. First of all, why do you care? Second of all, if you were behind the paywall, what's the benefit in that?
Ooh, what are my benefits? Nobody sent me an onboarding kit.
Yeah. So the thing about HR in this company is that bye.
Yeah, I didn't get like do I still have to pay for Fightful Select?
No, actually,
you shouldn't. Yeah, you should actually be able to expense that.
Let's go. Let's have an onboarding conversation while we're here.
You know, I still pay for my Observer subscription.
You still have to pay for it?
Well, only because I think the way that it works is that I have to like use a different account. I have to use like a special account, and I don't want to like ruin the like how long I've been a subscriber.
I get it.
So it's like from the beginning. So I don't want to break that just for my own ego.
This guy who's like, I don't report news for the ego, doesn't want to make a new account because of his ego. I see this. You are the CM Punk of Wrestling Observer.
You know what? One day I'll do that interview, huh?
Oh, I'd love that. By the way, this is the right answer. ITW, In the Weeds is the onboarding. That's true. When you get a gig with us, with Fightful, you have to show up on this show and basically wax poetic about the good old days.
I'm going to show up on your Tuesday show every single week.
I already said I was doing that.
Oh yeah, we're going to have you guys on for sure. So here's a little insight. Rich and I have not discussed once what we're doing on the show.
That's pretty much how you operate.
Yeah,
that is how I operate. My whole concept would, like, if you ever notice, I never look at a camera when I'm doing a show.
Yeah, you got to learn.
Which is such a weird concept for a lot of people. And for me, I'm like, listen, I'm doing the Howard Stern show. It's a voyeuristic view in my studio while I'm doing a radio show. The cameras don't exist for me. I don't acknowledge that there's a camera. I'm just looking at Rich or I'm looking at my screen and I'm talking. That's the only concept we have. So nothing is changing.
Look forward to the new shows there. And you guys are going to have a lot to talk about coming Tuesday after Mania. So, you know, it's going to be plenty to talk about. Looking forward to checking out you and Rich after I do my NBA talk and my Too Hot to Handle mobile playthrough with Share Delaware and SP3 on Tuesdays.
When that show,
So can we have a crossover? Can we have like a crossover episode where we?
I don't want to tank your viewership completely if I like come on the air and people are like, why is this guy narrating making out scenes from a mobile game? People get very offended by that. The people who watch that show enjoy it, they get it. But like when we try to bring it onto this show and make reference, people get very offended by it. So yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people that have never heard Matt Men, that are going to be a little confused when we start talking about X-Men 97 for about 35 minutes on a 1 hour show.
Oh, see, this is where I'm in on. I'm done with the first episode. I started the second episode. I haven't finished it. Hopefully I'll get to it.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
I really love the first episode, so I look forward to watching.
So I'm waiting because I'm probably not going to work today. Okay. I'm going to probably watch the fourth one with my kids, but it's become like a family event and my wife is into it, which she's not into comics or like animation or cartoons or anything. It's reinvigorated my love for comics. I'm going to show you. Last week, I went to the comic book shop and I bought all these comics.
Nice.
And I bought, look at this one.
Very nice. Number 1. Oh,
yeah.
That thing will be.
We got a number 1. It'll be worth 35 cents in about 2 years. Don't worry.
Exactly. Let it cook.
Do you know how much comic books are nowadays?
Like $7.
I assume everything's expensive nowadays.
Maybe Canadian. Yeah, Canadian probably $7. Yeah, it's $5 a freaking comic book.
Wow, that's too much.
That actually seems cheap to me.
That seems cheap to you? That's insane.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I know they used to be like $1.50, but like $5 seems like okay. That's actually all right. I can.
Back in my day, Jeremy.
Well, actually,
$1.25.
It's funny because we got someone who sent not a super chat, but we'll get to a super chat in a second. There we go. Andrew Zarian, please use this time to detail how you liked it better when every podcaster had a gun or a knife in their bag and kids today with their Game Boys.
Hold on, I got both here somewhere.
Maybe don't brandish 2 of those things on the air. By the way, Kim Grace
Zarian's got a gun and a knife.
All right,
that's how I'm starting the first show.
You should. That's all you got.
That's gonna. Yeah, I'm immediately gonna get canceled. It was a rip from Observer to get your channel banned.
Don't worry, we don't need Observer to get us there. By the way, Kim Gray sent a very nice super chat saying, "Hello, my faves, all 3 of you. Hey, thank you."
Oh, Kim's awesome.
Hello to you. We appreciate you as we always do. Oh, what a day this is gonna be. What a new experience this is gonna be. Andrew Zarian and I now work together. That's gonna be a problem. You want to go to Scotland?
I'm psyched. I'm psyched.
You want to go to Scotland with me?
Are you going?
No, but I'm going to find a way to convince Sean and Jimmy to send me.
Good luck.
Yeah, you know what? They should send you.
Good luck.
They should.
Jason says, my favorite Aerosmith song is Zarian has a gun and a knife. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Anyway,
we look forward to the new show, Zarian, next week.
Thank you, Jeremy. And I appreciate both of you. And I know that you guys, advocated for this to some extent. And it's great. I got so many nice messages from people, even people like in the business. Like they're like, dude, this is great. This is fantastic. I think what we're going to do also next week is that I'm going to start doing interviews for Beyond the Bell. That's a secondary thing that we do. So I'm going to have Vinny Pacifico on next week.
Nice.
We love Vinny. By the way, shout out to Vinny. We love Vinny. He lost his nana this week.
Yeah, I saw.
He's a great dude. He's been great to all of us, and we just want to send our love to him and to his family right now because that sucked. That wasn't fun to hear.
So real quickly, because we have a lot to talk about, and but I do. Terry, you mentioned like we advocated for this. I don't know if this is factual, but I feel like I could have nixed this show if I wanted to.
I think you should have.
Because Sean comes to me and he's like, we're thinking about doing this Tuesday morning. Do you have a problem with it? Because it's going to go up against what you're doing on Overbooked with FMC. And I'm like, yeah, I'm super concerned about Zarian doing a wrestling show while SP3 and I talk about basketball and reality television. But Sean was he legitimately, he's like, I want to make sure you're okay with it because I don't want to cut into anything you're doing on Overbooked with this new show. And I'm like, no, it's completely different. 5 people watch FMC. Bless them. We love them. Like 5 people.
And listen, Jeremy, I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
That's true. Some people,
you know,
I should have nixed it though. I should have been like, no, Andrew Zarian can't have this wrestling show because it's going to cut into our NBA and reality television and mobile playthrough. Can't do it.
I had no idea you had a Favored Nations contract with Fightful. I'm so sorry.
Put him on Thursday mornings.
Yeah. Well, then you go up against. No, he needs to be Tuesday afternoon. He can't go up against our show. Absolutely not. So,
you know what, dude? I would love to do an afternoon thing, but it's torture for me. Like my schedule is so insane. Like we do the show on Tuesday afternoons. We're Live Pal with Garrett Gonzalez, which is such a great guy. And it's literally the only 45-minute block I have open in the afternoon. So I mean, I'm an early boy. I like to get all my shit in super early and be done. Because I know nightmares happen. It's interesting. Whenever you have a guest, why does Jeremy's internet die?
It's not just when you have a guest. Also, it's funny because like your audio is perfectly fine. It's just your video completely.
Everything's working fine on my end, which is very rare. Sometimes it'll completely freeze, and then I can't hear you guys or anything. But sometimes it's guest related. Sometimes it's just
try
Ohio. That's
Try refreshing your page.
I changed my Wi-Fi. I've done all of this stuff. I don't know.
Oh, it's just the internet. It must be raining outside.
It is actually.
Did you try blowing on the cartridge? That helps always. So can I ask you, what is this blowjob review that you do?
Oh God, no.
You ever seen the show?
I've heard you say it. Okay, so I've heard you say it, and I've heard you tweet it, and I watched. Joel wasn't on, and you were on, and I was listening on the train, and all I heard was blowjob reviews, and I'm curious what this is.
Okay,
hold on. Before you do this, I want to preface this. I'm gonna Zarian, I'm gonna text you now what's gonna be the funniest part of this whole thing when I reveal it. But like, I was doing some stuff, like very important things while Jeremy was doing this whole review.
Okay, last thing, then we're gonna talk about wrestling. I swear, maybe. So have you ever seen the television show Too Hot to Handle? Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So they get a bunch of horny people on an island, and they can't have sex. Like you get money deducted from the prize pool if you have sex. Okay.
So these are people that are very horned up.
Yeah, they are told they're on a different reality dating show, and then they learn they are on this show where they can't do any of this. Okay. So they have a mobile game that you can like play on your phone, mobile game. So they have a mobile game based on this television show, and we play through it. Myself, SP3, and Share Delaware. We play through it. And we break a lot of the rules, and you can make decisions on like, hey, do you want to kiss this person? Do you want to do?
Oh, that's that woman in the shower, the blonde woman, like the animation woman that you have on the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we play this mobile game, and I'm the narrator, so I narrate these things, and so I had to narrate a blowjob in the shower yesterday.
Okay, I mean, I've done that a ton. That's totally normal for my content. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit more appropriate on Fightful. I don't want to embarrass you guys this early. I don't want to start doing. Are you guys doing F Mary kills also?
We partner. No. I mean, partner promo punch in the face. Same
yeah. We used to play a game on Mad Men After Dark called Guess the Bulge. That I used to zoom in on the trunks of certain wrestlers, and then callers had to call in and guess, and they would win a prize.
Oh my God.
Are you gonna take calls on this show, on your show?
We have a phone line.
Let's go.
We have, I have 4 lines here. I could start doing phone. I don't even know my number. 888 659-3727. No, that's the Bald Truth hotline. That's the
1-900
Spencer's phone number.
1-900
Yeah, 1-900
9900.
No, 1-900 run for ECW.
Oh, all right.
Remember that one?
Kids, get your permission, but call the hotline now.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, with your show, is MG producing? Are you doing it the old school way? Or are you gonna be on stream?
No, I'm gonna have MG produce. Should I take a work call right now?
It depends who it is.
Oh, they hung up.
Oh,
Yeah, it was someone semi-famous.
Semi-famous, he says.
Yeah.
Jason
Hold on,
Kelsey.
I'll text it to you.
Jason.
No. I just
Oh
sent it to you guys.
my God!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We're
tight. We're really tight.
Yeah.
Really?
No, that doesn't.
We're super tight.
That does not surprise me at all. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. God bless. Yeah,
I have a lot of questions now.
How could you have any questions? You know what?
I mean, I don't have questions. I just
Did we ever tell the story, Joel, about Jessica? Not my Jessica, different Jessica. At SummerSlam?
No, because we never said it was Jessica, but yes. I think you and I told the story on the air about our random SummerSlam encounter.
Random questions, Zarian. Do you know a man by the name of Steve Gustafson? Steve the Goose?
I should.
Potentially. Okay.
The bassist?
No, not the bassist. No. He's
that's who I thought of.
He's in the business. He has connections. He has connections to the business as well.
I don't know Steve.
Okay. You and him travel in similar circles, so I didn't know if you would potentially know. I don't know if he still does that. This was a while ago, but
you're talking about the VP of design at ServiceNow. He's passionate about design, marketing, architecture, cars, and gaming.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
He hasn't tweeted.
We have wrestling to talk about allegedly on the show.
I guess.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Zarian, we appreciate you. We'll see you next Tuesday on the main channel, not on this.
Love you guys.
Channel, on the main
I'll
channel.
call on maybe I'll call on Friday before my show.
Could you? That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So how many wrestling shows do I do now? I do this, right?
Yeah.
This is a commitment.
Kind of.
Okay.
I
I do this more than my shows. I'll tell you that.
That is true.
I'm doing We're Live, pal. I'm doing Wrestling Observer. I'm doing Mat Men. And I'm doing the new one, Beyond the Bell.
Have you considered reaching out to Wade Keller so you can do something on the Torch?
Yeah, I'm going next thing. I'm going on the Torch. I'll be on PW Insider next with Mike Johnson.
Okay.
What else is left? Wrestling Inc. Roger Geary and I. Roger's making a comeback. Roger and I are going to be doing a show.
You going to do posts? You want to do posts with John Pollock?
I'm going to do the post with John Pollock. Actually, did you see who John Pollock and Brandon Thurston have on today?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have
and Callis. Yeah.
Great interview.
I'm very interested in hearing that interview.
Check them out. That's 3 p.m.
Listen, you know what's next? I could go work for Forbes and become an effing shill for WWE and get my cheese board and leak fast nationals. I could do that too.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Good gig if you can get it, I guess.
No, I shouldn't do that.
No.
Or that other guy that goes cuckoo. I could go work for him too.
That can describe a lot of people.
I was gonna say a lot of people.
Yeah. Vince Russo and I are starting a podcast.
Oh,
okay. Now I might have to cut you off. Yeah,
that's next. I'm just going to go down a dark path. That's what's next after this.
I might have to ban you for that one.
And then you'll have your redemption arc when you and Ace Steel start a podcast.
Well, if he doesn't bite me.
Oh, no. Can't talk about that on the air, brother. NDAs.
The chomper. Unbelievable. All right, guys. I don't want to hijack the rest. Jeremy, love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.
See you later. Oh, my goodness. Andrew Zarian. Someone just, a friend of mine just messaged me on Facebook Messenger, a good friend of mine, says, do you have any thoughts on the CM Punk interview? And I want to be like, I'm going to send him the link, not to join us, but the link to the show and be like, I'm about to tell you.
We're going to talk about Punk. I don't want to dismiss I'm trying to get the person who called Zarian on
I
this show.
just saw this. Oh, he said probably not. Damn.
That's a shame. It's a shame.
I get okay. The explanation makes sense, so we can do a pre-recorded interview.
Yeah, we'll do a pre-recorded.
Let's
We'll do a pre-record.
Oh god.
I don't want to dismiss the alleged love letter that Janel Grant wrote to Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
The alleged coercing that went with this. Vince is using the same law firm that MLW used against WWE, which is comedy.
Something else. I was looking at the name and I was like, that sounds so familiar. And then when I found out, I was like, oh, that's strange.
Yeah. This is stuff that's going to come out as the lawsuit continues and moves forward. Stuff like this is to put public pressure on a settlement. And I think that's largely what this is. Zarian mentioned it. I'll certainly be covering it, and Callis is going to be on with John Pollock and Brandon Thurston at 3:00. So I'll definitely be tuned in to that and hearing what she has to say. She's the lawyer for Janel Grant. But this is a public pressure play from my estimation. Is that look, we have this information, and this cast doubt on the allegations. And of course, Callis' side is saying she was coerced into this. There are text messages where Janel had finger surgery, and she says, I can't write the letter. And then Vince is seemingly sympathetic as one can be to this, and still goes through with the letter. More stuff's going to come out. Most of it's not going to be good. The letter, apparently she wrote a few of them. It was mentioned in the New York Post article that she had used stuff from like pop culture, from like MGK and Megan Fox lines and things like that, in things from like movies and stuff. And it felt very, I don't know, people can make their own, not assumptions, but opinions on how they feel about the letter and the terminology and the phrasing used. And it didn't read, this is just my personal opinion, it didn't read genuine when I read it. I didn't read this thinking like, oh yeah, this person really feels this way. It did feel like someone who had to write the letter because they were asked to write a letter, and because it feels like another power tactic of like Vince wanted to feel some type of way about these things and wanted these letters so he could feel, he felt he had that power over, see how much there is this love and there is this relationship. Just my opinion on things when I read the story, when I read the letter.
Yeah, this is a tough conversation because I see other sides to this. Don't hear me out for a second.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, chat, hear me out for a second. Believe me, I'm the last person I'm going to defend is Vince McMahon. This is not what that is. I think really the point that I was going to make was that in situations like these, when someone is in a position of, it's a Stockholm syndrome situation, if you're being groomed and being treated a certain way, that sometimes you do start to believe it and you do start to do these things. I think both sides of what we're talking about can be true. I think, and again, we have the benefit, or at least the understanding of a lawsuit and allegations and everything that's come with it, that also frames our feelings towards what this letter can be, or how it can be construed. And that's kind of the more difficult part about, as more stuff comes out, as more information and more evidence, if you will, is introduced, we're always going to have the actual lawsuit and what it alleges and the details of it in the back of our minds, and that will mostly affect our readings in this evidence as it comes through. So I'm going to be kind of leery when I talk about this stuff, because again, we have what's in front of us in the lawsuit, we have what's been presented as evidence, and I see where it's coming from. I see what it is. I'm not at all saying that, oh, she's doing this for Vince. No, not at all. This is terrible shit that's going on. But yeah, that's just kind of, as I'm reading through it, I'm trying to be as impartial and think of multiple sides to how this could be. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. More information is going to come out, and I'm very interested to hear what Ann Callis has to say. She did give comments in the New York Post article, and that's where she said that Janel was coerced into writing these letters. And of course, Vince's side is saying, there was no coercion. This is how she felt. Why would she write these letters after everything that happened? The play is to try to cast doubt on the lawsuit.
Yes.
There's going to be more that comes out of this, especially as a federal investigation. And there's going to be more that is made public, because if you are the WWE side or the Vince McMahon side, you want the settlement. That is how a lot of these things unfortunately end. That's what they want. That's not going to stop the federal investigation, but that'll at least put the end to Janel's lawsuit of things. So we'll see how it continues. It's not going to end, I don't think, anytime soon, and it shouldn't. And I hope, again, Vince is a billionaire. He's a millionaire. He sold more stock. He made like $100 million or whatever off of all of that. He's lived his life. He's got all his money. But the more stuff that comes out, the more that the court of public opinion is not looking good for him, which he doesn't care about. But, yeah.
Ryan, by the way, Ryan in the chat, Ryan Sullivan had mentioned, plus if you're told by Vince or someone close to him that Vince likes these quote unquote love letters, when you're stuck in this situation, you're going to write them. And that's another very, very good point. You're in a situation, it's not good. So yeah, that's how we look. I like you. I'm looking forward to the conversation for Pollock and Thurston at 3 p.m. Eastern, over on the Post Wrestling and WrestleNomics channels. They're going to be talking to Ann Callis, Janel Grant's lawyer. And that's going to give a lot of information, a lot of light on a very tricky lawsuit and a very tricky set of allegations that they're navigating.
Yeah, and they've done a great job with everything. So
yes, they have.
I look forward to their continued coverage and certainly that conversation. Again, I'll be covering that. I've covered a lot of this news and stuff, and they do a great job. I respect all the work that they've done, and they've made my portion of it easier. I've talked to Thurston about a few things and clarified a few things, because I don't want to screw things up, and Brandon's been helpful to me in that way.
Yeah, no, shout out to them. They are just fantastic at what they do. We didn't talk about our 11:30 pop in, should we?
Yeah, Mark Hoke's going to join us for a bit, talking about ToyCon this weekend. He'll be doing some interviews there. It's going to stream live, so people can check that out. And yeah, so Mark Hoke's going to join us. We've both been on his show before.
Yes, we have. I was lucky enough to be in studio live with him after TNA Hard to Kill back in January. Had a blast. Sat with him for the tapings as well, both nights for Hard to Kill and the Snake Eyes tapings. Mark's a great dude. Really looking forward to bringing him on at 11:30 to talk about ToyCon and everything he's got going on. And so yeah, that'll be in about 45 minutes. We're gonna go long today because
the real big news, Joel. The real big news.
And let's talk about it. WWE Speed is going to go live at noon, and we're going to watch it.
Yeah, that's the big news here. We're going to do a live watch along of WWE Speed. We're going to do Speed on air.
Yes, that's right. We are going to be the Speed watchers.
We're going to do a 90-minute review show of a 90-second
You saw my tweets. Oh, I knew that would come back to haunt me.
I legitimately, I was gonna do this bit of I was gonna review the shows, and every single review for the match was gonna be great match, too long. That was gonna be every review, no matter what. Just great match, too long. No star ratings. Maybe I'd do star ratings. 4.25. Just everything's 4.25.
So
that was gonna be my review. Maybe I'll still do it.
Jeff Valley Driver, Keanu Reeves wrestle on a bus.
Movie.
So that's a great movie and a great shot. I would rather that the matches be filmed with speed guns and they have people at ringside with speed guns. And if they go over 50, let's say 5 miles an hour, if they go over 5 miles an hour, they tell them to slow down or the ring explodes. Atsushi Onita is salivating right now.
3-minute matches is insane to me. Like when the initial concept was 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, sure.
That's an NXT match.
A 3-minute match though? Like you can't accomplish anything. The concept.
Does that include I'm sure this joke was made. Does that include introductions?
Roman's just his entire speed match is just his entrance. Like you went over, Roman.
There.
You went over. Just amazing. A 3-minute match. This is right up my alley, though. I love this. It's gonna be my favorite show. I'm voting for it. It's getting all the awards for me. All the awards.
You just know that soon enough NWA is going to introduce their new show. It's going to be called NWA Blow, and they're just going to go balls to the wall 5-minute matches.
I'm for that too. Completely for that.
Sinister Minister is going to be the special referee for all those matches.
Now go home and smoke some more crack.
Airing live from Arizona.
All right. What else?
Did you watch the Big Eats yesterday afternoon?
Dude, I did 2 articles on that freaking thing. Are you kidding me?
I watched it. Two of the biggest takeaways from that thing. Otis has been calling Io Shirai Io Shirai, and no one stopped him.
Bless Io that she did never corrected him. It's like, oh yeah, yes, Otis, thank you.
I think my favorite is I'm thinking about there's a Simpsons reference in there where Homer is like, Bart's teacher's name is Mrs. Krabappel. I've been calling her Mrs. Crandall. Why has nobody told me? It was the same energy. And almost in the background is just cackling. Oh God! And then he got
takeaway that was Tozawa
just tearing through it,
destroyed both of them.
Look. Them. I spend a lot of my time on YouTube watching professional eaters, and your other co-host Steven Jensen loves Joey Chestnut, the professional eater of professional eaters. I watch other guys. I watch Beard Meats Foods. I watch Katina Eats Kilos and Randy Randy Seftel. I forget his last name, but they're together. Anyway, I watch a lot of other content, and these men who Otis and Omos were not the professional eaters they should have been. Tozawa, however, saved everything. The little guys and the little people are always the big ones who can put it away.
Almost tapping out after 4 slices of pizza. He was
not shocked.
When
he said that his cheat meal was sushi, I'm like, nope, that shit expands in your stomach. You're done. You ain't going nowhere.
He was done. That was a lot of fun, though. That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
big people just don't put it away the same way.
They really don't. I mean, we've had Megabyte Ronnie on the show. Ronnie's like a jack dude, but he's not a big dude or anything. Yeah. So, I'll eat. That would have been sound really bad. I'll eat Otis and Omos. I'll out eat Otis and Omos. Let's have them on the show and do an eating competition. I've faced Brannigan in eating competition. Might have to run that back this year. Let's go.
Well, let's go. By the way, Ryan Lambert saying he's friends with Randy Santel. By the way, that was the last name I was forgetting. My God, that's fantastic. We gotta set them up. I said this on Twitter. I am manifesting with the stars and all. I want to host that event in Toronto over Money in the Bank weekend. I don't care who they get. I just want to host it. And I was like, I don't know what the food is, because like people are like, what are you gonna do? Poutine? I'm like, no, that's a Montreal thing. They could have done it last year in Montreal with that. It would have been great. And then a friend of mine, Harley, who does Grit and Glitter, by the way, great show. He mentioned Timbits, the little donut holes from Tim Hortons.
Okay.
And I was like, that's perfect. That's the sponsorship. That's the connection. So now I got to talk to WWE and say, hey, here's my idea. I want to do 500 Timbits is a lot. I want to do 50 Timbits. Give me your 2 best eaters and let's go. That's
Pitch.
what I want to do.
Just go for this. I like that.
I'm going to pitch it. I don't know how. When I go to Scotland, I'm going to pitch it. That's going to be the idea for Toronto.
All right. Good
What
luck.
else? Yeah, exactly. All of this not to talk about CM Punk in the MMA hour. MMA hours, because he did 2 hours on this. You want to talk about it?
No.
Well, too bad we have. Let's get it right off the bat. By the way, get your super chats in like Caden did. Caden said, I'm getting real sick and tired of people blaming, quote, the media instead of taking accountability for their actions.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Listen, the media is awful. We suck. People are like, no, don't talk about it. I know everyone wants us to not talk about it, but we got to talk about it because that is the thumbnail, and that is also what we do. Is we do the hot button whatever's on this show. CM Punk was on MMA Hour. He had plenty to say, and I know that they're going to talk about it on the Hump, and I know Sean's already talked about it too. But we're not Sean. We are 2 different people. So Jeremy Lambert's CM Punk had a lot to say. Some of it great, some of it questionable, and I know you had extra questions you would have asked CM Punk coming out of this interview. What was your immediate takeaway from it?
Thank God it's over.
It's a 2-hour interview, and there was a lot of talking. And
it's not just a 2-hour interview, by the way. I mean, it is, but like, I don't get to consume it like the rest of y'all get to consume it. I transcribe just about every word of this thing. So I don't get to consume like, oh, an hour and 50 minutes, it's over. Like it's really 2 hours, 45 minutes for me, because I'm transcribing the whole thing. So I consume it differently than everybody. And I consume it worse because it's a lot of stop starting, typing. And it's fine to listen to, but I probably look at these things. It's work. It's work for me. It is. It's not like, oh, let me sit back and listen to what he has to say. Okay, now I get to talk about it and stuff. Like, it's legitimately work for me to do. So when these long interviews happen, it's a lot of work for me to do. It just is.
Yeah, you don't get to sit back and put it on 2x speed on a Tuesday afternoon like I did.
Right. Yeah, it is work for me. I was talking to the wife about this. Like, it's my job. I get it. Something like a big news story. That's one article done. Okay, that's the topic for the rest of the day. Cool. That's easy to do, right? One article. This is a 2-hour interview. And so I gotta consume it differently. It takes like 3 hours out of my day to do all of this, compared to if what WWE TKO sale, merger, whatever. One news story. That's it. You do the merger. Of course, people are going to comment and everything, but like, it's one article. That's it. Then everybody talks about it all day. It takes me 10 minutes to put together the article. This is 3 hours of work for me. So I consume it differently than everybody else. That's all. So yes, I was happy when it was over.
But going back to the actual meat of the conversation, because you actually read, transcribed, internalized a lot of it, there was one tweet that you had about a follow-up that you would have asked, and that was the Punk promo that preceded the Hangman promo. You want to get into that real quick? Because I saw some people comment on it, and I just wanted to see where you're at with that.
I didn't see any of the comments. I saw one comment.
It was nothing was it was from people that we typically talk to. No one that's like, I didn't listen to dork comments. I listen to people that actually like we've interacted with and we work with in the sphere.
I got a lot of messages from Brian Danielson about that tweet.
Really, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's reaching out.
So, okay, like, my comment was, so here's what Punk said first to set it up. Here's what Punk said. He was talking about the Hangman promo. and his beef with the Hangman promo wasn't. It was the workers' rights line, but it was also, according to him, this is Punk's words. According to Punk, he and Hangman sat down, talked about it, went over the promo, hit their story points, blah, blah, blah. And then when they got out there, Hangman said something completely different. Not only just the workers' rights line, but like the whole material of the promo was different than what they went over. And then, according to Punk, he said, he couldn't hear Hangman's portion of the promo, so he wasn't going to respond with what they had talked about because then it wouldn't have made sense and all this stuff. So he had to like try to really listen so we could counter all of that, and then it ended in a pull apart and everything. And that's where trust was broken. Okay, I'm going to take Punk at his word for this, that this is how he feels about things. That this is where trust was broken and he wanted things handled. And in his opinion, things were not handled by Tony Khan. Okay. All right. Fine. It's Punk's side of the story. My question would have been, okay, you beat Hangman, you injured your foot, you went away, you came back, you sat in the middle of the ring, you attacked Hangman. You said that's not cowboy shit. That's coward shit. You called him out to start the show. Had nothing to do with Hangman because you were in a feud now with Moxley because he was the interim champion. You beat Hangman. You moved on. Did you clear that with Hangman? Did you clear that with Tony Khan? Or were you doing the same thing that Hangman did to you? We didn't talk about this. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to say what I want. People were like, well, this is a receipt. He did that to Hangman because Hangman did that to him. Okay, if that's how you want to justify it, can you not understand how this would break some trust between people, though? And if that's how you want to justify it, can you not understand how this would not make you look great to the eyes of those people and to other people? And if you want to say you're a professional and you are above this and you know how to act, can you not understand how that doesn't paint you in that light? I would have asked if he'd cleared that with them. That's all. And then we would have gotten an answer. Maybe he would have said, yeah, I cleared that. Okay. Maybe that's the truth. Maybe it's not. If he said I didn't clear it, I just went out there and decided to do it, it was a receipt, then that's when I would have followed. All right. Do you understand why maybe they would take issue with that then? The same way you took issue with him doing it to you. Do you understand that they might take issue with you doing it to him?
I see a lot of people in the chat saying Tony Khan could have stopped it in the beginning. This is kind of an ongoing conversation that we've had, Jeremy, about where someone fits or where they feel like they fit the most and the culture that fits them and fits their needs. Not everyone is a leader, despite the fact that CM Punk will tell you he's a leader, locker room leader. But CM Punk is a good money maker who thrives on the opportunity to be a part of this. Is funny because this is where I see myself in Punk. I don't consider myself leader, but I do consider myself someone who has good opinions and can develop things very well with others in a team mentality. I think Punk thrives on getting his ideas across, but not leading anything. You can't give him the reins on anything because it all just goes to shit. Because maybe he doesn't delegate, maybe he doesn't do whatever. My point is, in all of this, in WWE, this shit gets squashed because they have no time for it. I don't know what happened in AEW. I don't know why Tony did or didn't say anything. But going back to when this all started, it just sounds like it was it feels to me like it was we'll deal with it later. And then nothing was never dealt with. And then it kind of went off the hinges and went off the rails. And I feel like Punk now in WWE is two things. One, he got nowhere else to go if he screws up. Two, he fits better there because there are, and he said it himself, there are people telling him what to do, and he is just doing it according to him. And he's enjoying that. Now, does that last forever? I don't know. But if that works for him now, then that's going to work for him now. I just reading through all this, it was like, ooh, you're in a position of power, Tony Khan. What happened? Where did this all break down?
Well, these are questions now for Tony, and Tony's, I don't know, he's going to answer how he's going to answer. I don't know
He's
what
got a media call, by the way. There is a Ring of Honor media call today. So,
no, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So I don't know what day it is anymore.
Okay.
It's Thursday. You're right. Thursday is the media call for Ring of Honor.
Okay. So, I don't know what questions Tony's going to be asked tomorrow. He might just decide to focus on ROH. That's his right prerogative. He might say, great question, can't comment. I don't know how Tony handled it after the Hangman promo. Whatever he did, it clearly wasn't good enough for Punk. And, what would have been good enough for Punk? What action did he want Tony to take? I don't know. I don't know if he wanted Hangman suspended. I don't know. I have no idea what would have been good enough. To me, this is just how I view things. They did the promo. They did the match. You won. You move on. That's it. That's just to me. But he didn't move on. He did it. He rehashed it. He rehashed it when he came back. And then it became a bigger thing.
And a bigger thing, and a bigger thing. And it got out of hand. And then he wanted out. And then when he asked to get out, according to Punk, Tony said no. And then he came back and did Collision. And according to Punk again, he didn't like the idea of a split roster. And then everything came to a head with Jack Perry, and everything came to a full-on head at All In, where Punk says he knew it was his last match, and then he quits. And that was that. I'm interested. The tube story, by the way, was hilarious. Punk being like, yeah, nobody came and picked me up, so I took the tube, and that was cool. Don't worry about it. All good. I had a good laugh. And I'm like, the imagery, and I know there were photos, which made it even better, of Punk like in the tube, going to the show, no one picked him up. And he didn't say, you didn't pick up one of your biggest star. That's not cool. Because he didn't want to play a hand that was like, I'm bigger than, too big for my britches. I don't think he wanted to come off that way, because then he says, I come home to Chicago. He doesn't live full time in Chicago, and I take the blue line to get home. And I'm like, okay, he's trying to be relatable. And he did a lot of things that were relatable. He did a lot of relatable conversational things. And it was a good interview for Punk. We'll leave it at that. Or not leave it at that, but I will say that. But it's just a very strange thing.
Here was truthfully my biggest takeaway, and what I tweeted immediately after. CM Punk plays to the room that he is in. And he admitted as much when he was asked, do you regret the pro wrestling line? I left pro wrestling. I'm back in pro wrestling. Do you regret that line? He's like, no, because I was playing to the small niche audience, like he tried to bury the AEW business of it's not a real business. He's like, I know, I was playing to the niche audience there, so I don't regret it. That's what I felt at the time. CM Punk plays to the room that he is in. He admitted he was potentially talking to WWE when he was on backstage. He was maybe trying to make some inroads there. But of course, he was just like, oh, I'm not with WWE. I'm just on Fox. I can say what I want. This is how Fox wants to use me. And he's like, well, okay, I don't want to screw up now the talks that I'm having with WWE about potentially returning. If Punk was still in AEW, he'd probably be like, look at them, bringing in Dwayne, bringing in the part-timers, ruining Cody's story. Oh, Roman gets to headline both nights of WrestleMania. Why are you taking one of the main events away from the women? It's terrible. They shouldn't be doing that. If he showed up at ROH on Friday, he'd probably be like, this is the greatest wrestling in the world.
He's already done that. Remember the tape library comment.
CM Punk plays to the room that he is in. That's how it goes. That's what he does. He's great at it. An absolute master at it. Gotta respect him for it, honestly. I gotta respect him for it. But that's who he is. That's what he does. And if you recognize that, then I think it's easier to parse out what he's saying. I think it's a little bit easier, at least for me.
Punk, I love it because he'll always say, I don't care, but he does care. And that, if you want to call me the devil, then I'm the devil, blah, blah, blah. But he's a content machine. He's right. And this is where I'm going with this is actually very interesting because he's talked about his comment about guaranteed money and people being lazy. And I think people need to remember that CM Punk came up in a very old school teaching of the business. There were things that he did in the ring that were different from the people that came before him, but his teachings, his ideologies, his psychology is rooted in his training and it's rooted in the people he learned from. And so a lot of the stuff that he said, it's not old mentality. Like this is what 99% of wrestlers who get older, who worked really fast to start and were told by the old timers for years and years, slow down, kid. He's doing that now. This is what he's doing. And then he makes allusions to the AEW locker room being lazy. Listen, that's not the first time someone said that, for the record. I don't want anyone to think that this is Punk with sour grapes. People have said this before because and it's provable. There are people who just get the contract and then don't work beyond the contract. That does happen. And that's not taking shots at anyone. Their prerogative and their priorities are their own. So I don't want people taking shots at Punk for that comment. But the guarantee money thing, I think it was misconstrued because he comes from that mentality of like, you work to fill the house and you work to fill, basically everything kind of works in cycle. The houses get full, more people watch on TV. More people watch on TV, more people come to the house. More people come to the house because they're enthralled by the wrestling, they're enthralled by the stories, and Punk didn't see that in AEW. That's his major takeaway. Is that whatever was not working there didn't work for him.
I don't know if the comment was misconstrued.
I think for a lot of people it was.
Here was my take on the comment. He wanted to bury AEW's business. And that's why he mentioned the guarantee. He wanted to bury that they're out there having 4.25 matches and working in front of quarter full arenas. How do you bury that? Oh, the guaranteed contracts have made them sheltered, have made them not want to work as hard because sorry, getting messages. The guarantee contracts have made them not want to work as hard because they're not worried about, oh, the gate's not healthy, so we don't need to work harder because we got all this guaranteed money. All he wants to do is bury the AEW business. And that was what he did with that comment. He said, oh, the guaranteed money is what's hurting this stuff. Okay. So I would ask Punk, if you don't like the guaranteed money, what's your contract like? Do you have guaranteed, or are you making money right now while you're injured? You're not selling WrestleMania. You shouldn't get anything off of WrestleMania. No one's paying it for you. WrestleMania sells itself, honestly, but The Rock is selling this thing. Roman, Cody, they're selling this thing. You're not selling it, so you don't get a payday because no one's here for you. Do you still like the non-guaranteed money?
It's a very interesting point. And it's true. When Roman and Rock aren't wrestling, they're still building a story, though. They're still on air trying to build whatever the big blow off is.
Okay.
And that justifies the money. And for people who are saying, Joel's old school doesn't get it. No, I do get it, because it's a story driven business. And if your story is, we're going to go out and have a great match, yes, that does fit. There are matches that fit that bill, but it's a balancing act. Again, it's a variety show. And I do agree with you that Punk was absolutely trying to bury the AEW business model 100%. Do not get me wrong, but I think there's merit to some of his points where if you're working towards having only excellent matches, then there's got to be more. If that's the only thing you want is this great 15, 30-minute matches, that's great. There's a place for that. It's just there were some things he said where I'm like, yeah, that's worth thinking about. I'm not saying he's right, but I think it's worth thinking about. And he's going to do his business the way he does his business. And he'll get paid
I don't think the guaranteed money is worth thinking about. I think that was a comment where he wanted to bury AEW business, and maybe he does feel that way. I don't know. Again, then I would ask him, all right, cool. You get on a downside guarantee and everything else you can be incentive based. If this is how you truly feel, then we do this. I think
that's the way he was, by the way, for years before AEW. That's the way he was. And he said, again, take it or leave it, that he would go when he felt like he was being unjustly paid. He would go and say, pay me more because I brought you this and that and the other. He did go for that. He did fight.
Yeah, which means he probably didn't like that model too well, because he thought he was getting screwed out of things. Because he would say, oh, we're not getting paid off of the network. Oh, the company is making all the money because WWE, the name sells. Oh, The Rock comes in and he's the one selling it. Yeah. So he probably does like the guaranteed money of like, oh, wait, you mean to tell me that I am going to get $1 million guaranteed and I'm not going to get instead $200,000 because WWE, the name, is selling it because The Rock comes in and takes this spot? He probably does like the guaranteed money in that case.
Yeah. It's entirely possible.
But, there was no follow-up to it. He just wanted to bury the laziness in AEW because right now the ratings are down and the tickets are down. And when he was there, to his credit, things boosted. They sold out the United Center on the rumor. The first $1 million gate was Punk and Hangman. I got no qualms about saying how good CM Punk was in AEW. That CM Punk meant a lot to AEW. That CM Punk boosted AEW business. I'm not going to retcon that or be like, oh, see, it didn't mean anything. He 100% did. I don't know if they have collision. If it wasn't for CM Punk.
No, they don't. They don't. And they probably didn't need it either.
Yeah. So I don't know. But CM Punk definitely boosted their business. Did he light the world on fire? I don't know. He did what he did. He boosted them 100%. Can't really argue with that. But let's not act like his comment was really anything more than, if you really care about workers' rights, you probably want people to have guaranteed money instead of working house to house like it was back in the day when you were complaining that you were not getting enough money from people and the company.
Oh, sorry, your video was catching up. That's not a dig. I was waiting for you to finish your point. We get a couple super chats. Alex Ramirez says, Lockport Phil has always been a Karen. Listen, man, I get it. And Vargov said, the Punk interview was a nice background noise while I worked. Like most people, I'm tired of the backstage drama BS. Something I did enjoy was the Bray Wyatt documentary. Cried many times, RIP. I need to see it. I haven't had a chance to yet. I hear it's a fantastic documentary. I don't know if you've watched it yet, Jeremy.
I haven't.
I'm going to get to that probably this week. I would like to before the end of the week. It's a busy one, but yeah, that sounds like a good one. And listen, some people like the backstage stuff. Some people like it, some people don't, and other people just want to argue with the wall, and that's okay too. But as long as you're not being obnoxious about it, it's okay. Cody Wills, by the way, says, what is on Supercard? is it worth buying? Check out the post show every Thursday nights. We do a
It's on
post
Honor
show.
Club, so if you're an Honor Club subscriber, I'm pretty sure it's built in.
Yeah, it's part of the show. So tell you who's not going to be part of the show. I mean, sorry, that's a bad segue. I'm sorry. We'll talk about the releases real quick. Or do you have anything you want to add about Punk?
That was a very bad segue.
I know, and I didn't want to get there, but I did it that way. I was gonna anyway. Sean's here. Hi, Sean.
Great to not see you, Jeremy.
Yeah, apparently my internet's cutting. What can you do?
You can still hear him. That's all that matters.
I've got I think it's a Northern Exposure bagel is what they call it now. It was the salmon stack previously when I was on this show, but I got to respect the business's name change.
So that's their Canadian accent coming out.
Yeah.
It's a lox and cream cheese bagel.
No, it's a salmon stack.
You got to respect the business. Anyway.
No, hell no. Glad to see you all had Zarian on for the first time ever. We have landed him for Tuesdays. Great to see. Great to see. We got a busy week this week. We got a Tetsuya Naito interview from Scott Edwards. I interviewed Pac-Man Jones. That's on Fightful Select right now. There was a 1 second delay and it was really annoying, but oh well.
It's better 1 than 5.
Yes. Rob Wilkins interviewed the author of the Macho Man book on Fightful Select. That's up as well. But man, tomorrow I've got a Make-A-Wish event in the morning with Rey Mysterio and Charlotte. I've got, I'll tell you guys, I'm managing Shaza McKenzie tomorrow. We have a newfound respect for one another. And assuming that I make this flight that has already been delayed once today, I then follow that up with a 2K event, hopefully. Then I am working the red carpet for Wale Mania. Friday, we're doing a junket. Friday, there's WrestleCon. I don't know what event I'm going to that evening. Probably by then, I'll just want to sleep. But lots of stuff. Get to see our good friend Vinny Pacifico as well. Sending our love to him as he had a big loss in his family. Love that guy. But I wish here's what I just wish. I wish Jeremy would pick up the slack this week. That's what I want. Like,
right.
It's been a very serene type of week thus far. And I just hope he doesn't rest on his laurels in that sense. And my favorite part about this is I can't see any expression that's on his face. And that makes it even better for me. Because that
just
one's
smiling. Just smiling.
Just smile and tweet through it, Jeremy.
Just smile and tweet through
smiling.
it.
That's all.
You want to know how I know when it's already been a long week? When Jeremy posts serious tweets. When his tweets aren't a bit. When he shares his actual thoughts and opinions and is introspective. That's how I know it's already been a long week.
That's when you got to reach out to him directly and be like, you okay, buddy? Is everything okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I know when this shit has went down. Because, yeah.
I got messages. I got messages from Brian Danielson for that tweet last night about.
Did you?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was fine. It was good. You know, it was a good exchange with old Brian.
I didn't know that he checked the Twitter. I don't know if this is a bit. Is that real?
Depends who you speak to.
Great. That's good shit. I will say Dynamite should be good tonight. Should be newsworthy at least.
Yes, because myself and Alex Pulaski will be doing the post show.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you in the private chat what to expect?
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
You said there was something, but you didn't tell me what it was because I'm not covering
Don't
Dynamite.
spoil it because I haven't had it confirmed, and I'm not a big spoilers guy the day of for a lot of stuff, but
I like to know because I like to just be ahead on work. I always want to know that stuff.
I'll let Skylar know.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you're on at noon with Jimmy doing the hump, talking about all the stuff we just talked about, but in Jimmy form. It'll be very business oriented. Let's go.
Shout out Christina Applegate, the GOAT, the legend.
Big fan. Bellray sent a super chat. I'm just going to get Sean's thought on this. Something a lot of people are not willing to say in regards to the CM Punk interview, regardless of how you may feel about Ariel Helwani, he is a very good interviewer. It's very engaging. It's very friendly with people he knows.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know there are a whole lot of people in AEW that don't like Ariel Helwani, and I get it. I completely understand it. I'll always have a soft spot for Ariel because he was an inspiration of me getting into coverage. Jeremy might be more familiar with this than you, but there was a boxer named James Toney who came over and did MMA, and it was a shit show, man. It was horrible.
Yeah.
He fought Randy Couture, and he carried around like this action figure of Randy Couture and cut promos on it during interviews. And I watched this interview with a young Helwani, and he goes, what do you do? Do you practice your moves on this? Like, what is this? And like, I love the approach he had to this very ridiculous situation. And I always enjoyed his work after that. And I respect the fact that he does not take shit from anybody. But, you know, listen, people can have their own feelings. And unfortunately, it's fallen into the tribalistic aspect. The only part I was like, don't know if I would have done that, was to have a very serious 2-hour interview that was very clearly slotted for 2 hours, because Rhea Ripley during WrestleMania week ain't just going to be chilling there till 4 p.m. And then you do an angle right after that. I was like, okay, not something I would do, but you know what? He's very successful. But there were a lot of things that I agreed. Sorry, I got the hiccups now because I ate that too fast. I agreed with and disagreed with, but I thought that Ariel's line of questioning, and remember this, guys, this is not the primary thing he covers. He's primarily an MMA coverage guy. So, I mean, there of course, there are questions that many of us would have asked that he didn't, but I think that he did a really good job asking some things that were probably only going to get answered that way. And I think that from here on out, Punk will probably just say, I'm not going to talk about that. And I think that the only way, because everybody's like, well, when will we get the real story? If somebody gets sued and there's depositions, that's when you'll get the real story. Otherwise, it'll be hopefully when these guys get together and mend fences, or as I incorrectly typed in Fightful Select, mend feces.
That was good.
You were just paying homage to CM Punk shitting his britches. I get it.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Nothing more.
But yeah, the hump live at noon. Thank you guys. And I just want to thank you both of you, Joel, for stepping up and doing the shows this week. And Jeremy, you always do incredible coverage of these very, very insane weeks. And yeah, my God, there's a chance that this week we will end up leaving Philadelphia with more interviews than we've ever had. You're going to be watching these interviews into friggin' July, guys. So enjoy.
He's not kidding. That's the best.
It is. And I know some of you are like, why do you do that? Listen, the Jade interview did really, really great. Oh, I'll tell you a funny bit. Russo, that fucking idiot. He did a thing making fun of what I was wearing for the Otis interview. So I go over there, I troll the comments a little bit, and somebody goes, yeah, his video making fun of you did more views than your actual interview. And I was like, buddy, do you think that we only upload things to YouTube? I would have jumped off a building into traffic if Vince Russo outdrew us with my own Otis interview. Kyler put in that work, and the clips alone did 200,000 views. I don't want to say what I would do. It'd be a little too dramatic if he were to outdraw us on our own content. Ain't never going to happen.
Follow-up question. Will you be wearing a tuxedo throughout all of your WrestleMania week appearances?
Joel, I think in light of events over the last couple of months, I don't need to anymore. But I'll be wearing a suit to Wale Mania and a suit to the Junket Friday and probably WrestleCon. But before I got word I was doing the red carpet, I was not going to dress in a suit for tomorrow. But
you don't usually dress up for these things, Sean.
Yeah, I don't usually dress nice is the word.
Well, nice is subjective. I wear a black V-neck t-shirt on the air. What are people going to say?
You know what? I'll Oh wow, Stephon Diggs got traded to the Texans. What?
I was gonna say that was a Discord notification.
What?
I got my football group chat was like the Texans are going for it, and I've not.
Yeah. Oh my God. CJ Stroud to him. Listen. You're about to find out just how not on the level Josh Allen is. Hate to tell you guys, you're about to find out. Man fumbles a lot. Man turns the ball over a lot.
Wow.
He's about to be out of that conversation. Mark my words. All due respect to him.
Jared Bailey's going to be on here, and he's going to fight you.
Can we wait for Friday to do that?
I saw him trying to say that Josh Allen's as good as Lamar Jackson. Now listen, or he said that he's
he thinks Josh Allen. He thinks Josh Allen's the second best quarterback behind Mahomes.
It's ridiculous.
Defends him with his life.
Listen, if I have every reason to dislike Lamar Jackson as an athlete because I'm a Bengals fan, I cannot believe that every team in the NFL passed on him twice in the draft and potential trade options. Like, if you would have said, oh, instead of drafting Joe Burrow, we're going to trade for Lamar Jackson, I would have been like, hell yeah, he's incredible. He is unbelievable. I just think that is goofy thinking. But you know what? We are now in a position where Deshaun Watson is like the 6th best quarterback in the division, so I'm happy about that.
He's the 6th best quarterback on his team right now.
True. He better be glad Flacco left, or he'd be at 7. I'll catch you guys later.
Bye, Sean.
Travel safe.
Safe travels. Yep, safe travels.
Oh, man. Looking forward to a very busy editing season from Sean Ross Sapp. Thank you for that.
Oh, looking forward to doing more work.
As he always does. He brings us the work so we can all do more work.
Never mind. I don't want to do my shoot promo here. Just kidding.
Well, you got a minute before Mark Hoke joins us, so we can really shoot hard on him.
Yeah, I don't want to get myself into trouble with anything. Now we'll see. We'll see if I break my own record for. I don't even know what my record is, but whatever it is, 32, I'll probably break it.
32 posts in a day.
Oh, that's shattered.
I remember you posting that once. I know there's been more.
Shattered. I think I was at like 45 on Monday.
My
Something
God.
absurd like that. Yesterday was like a little slower, and by a little slower was still over 30. Typically, like I aim for over 30 a day WrestleMania week. Yeah. That just completely shattered that. That's plus shows. I didn't even have these shows last year. Like the fact that I'm doing it now on top of it with these shows as well, just
skip the shows.
I like talking about this stuff. This is my break from doing all this work. Is doing these shows. That's all.
All right, real quick. Everyone's talking about it. Naomi Rosenblum.
I did an article while Sean was talking.
Yes, the former the fiance of MJF painted Rock and Cody. Rock replied, said, "Love this. What an artistic convergence of emotion. I'd like to buy it from you. My team will be in touch. I know a special mom who I'm going to gift this to. And no, it's not Mama Wayne. It's Mama Rhodes.
Mama Friedman.
Mama Friedman is going to get it." And then MJF replies, "First, you steal my glorious idea to lash Cody. Now you're trying to cop art from my ex. I'm a fan. Please leave me be, Dewey."
Honestly, like the fact that this is his first tweet since before World's End.
Yeah, because everyone's because he got Steven Jensen saying that MJF is going to come and save Cody at WrestleMania.
Fucking hell,
I DM'd you that afternoon as I was listening to the damn show, and I'm like, wow, Steven Jensen finally did it. He booked something worse than I ever could.
Can't believe Jensen with that. The funniest part of that bit was when he messages me by the end of the show. And he's like, "Oh, just heard Conan and Disco say the same thing. Never mind. I'm wrong. This is terrible."
Oh my God. All right. You know what? I want to hear his opinions on this. Let's bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Mark Hoke Show. Mark Hoke is here. Hello, Mark Hoke.
How you doing, Mark?
Can you hear us, Mark?
Hey guys, what's up?
There we go. We found him. How are you, pal?
I'm doing well. What's happening?
Oh, you know, we're just getting ready for MJF to
Get
make his
rid of that.
WWE
There we
debut.
go. All right. I should be okay now.
Or did you have the audio up? Was it doubling up?
Oh, I was doing all sorts of stuff. I was watching you guys because I love you.
Oh, we appreciate you.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's always the worst when people like us.
Well, what, Jeremy, you've gone black. What's going on, man?
My
Oh,
internet's been bad all show. Whatever.
Oh, geez, man, I miss you.
Well, look at that lovely face. It's there. It's just frozen.
Yeah, it's all good. He's been having some issues. I don't know what's going on with Jeremy. I'm wondering if we've had some North Carolina internet issues. Maybe they found him and they're going to be taking him away. That would be doing some good things for you, though, Joel. So.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, the rain in Toronto makes my internet stronger. That's how it works.
There he is. All right, there we go. Now everybody's back in business
For now.
for now.
Oh, so let's talk. You're here to promote something, and we're here to talk about that and wrestling. So let's dig right in. What are we promoting?
Well, guys, I cannot wait for this weekend because I didn't get a WrestleMania credential, which I'm just crushed about. But I got this gig where I'm going to be the on-stage host. That's right. I got one of those on-stage host gigs for the Vegas Toy Con here in Las Vegas. And guess who's there? Take a guess. He's an icon. He's
Sting!
An icon. That's right. Sting is going to be at the Vegas Toy Con here at the here in Las Vegas. It's going to be amazing. And we've got live wrestling from Future Stars of Wrestling coming up. And just so many. I mean, this thing is going to be packed, dudes. I mean, Joel, if you brought the kid, you'd never get him out because there's going to be all sorts of different toy vendors. Mario Lopez is going to be here. We got people from Fast and Furious. We got Amy Jo Johnson. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Amy Jo Johnson from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is here. Let's get Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell. I mean, and unfortunately, Mick Foley was supposed to be here. I have a feeling WWE called him up. So we're waiting for it. Now I get a mystery guest that I'm going to be interviewing, and all this is getting live streamed over the weekend. So you guys can tune in at vegastoyshow.com and see me make a complete idiot out of myself all weekend long at Vegas Toy Show at vegastoycon.com.
Are you going to introduce Sting as if you were Tony Schiavone in the 90s?
I don't know what I'm doing with Sting yet. Sting's going to be there on Sunday, and he's going to be signing a lot of autographs and stuff, and we're still kind of up in the air on what exactly I will be doing with Sting. I'm hoping I get Scorpion Death dropped. Last year I got Cobra clutched by Sergeant Slaughter. So who knows what they're going to do to me. It's going to get ugly, but I'm looking forward to it. It's a great opportunity, and there's going to be thousands and thousands of people at this thing. So if you're in the Southwest of the United States, obviously Sting doesn't do many of these things. So if you can get up there, you can come say hi to me after you get your autograph or photo op with Sting. But if you look on the website, there's one cool thing that it says on there: no bats. You cannot bring a bat.
Okay, I get it.
Jeremy's bringing a bat. I know he'll bring a bat anyway. He doesn't care.
I do want to get a bat autographed by Sting. That would be great.
It would be great.
I just want to meet Sting. Never met
him. I bet I could bring a bat in though. They might let me bring a bat.
Think so? I don't know.
You got to go in the back door though.
Yeah.
You know what I'll do? You guys remember last time I was on, I had that Hacksaw Jim Duggan 2x4.
I remember.
So maybe what I'll do is I'll tape the bat behind the 2x4. We'll sneak it in that way.
Yeah. So the 2x4 is legal, but the bat not legal.
Yeah, well, I have a way in. I'll be all right.
Yeah, he's coming the back door. We did this already.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. Joel knows I know people.
Of course. I was going to say, if people are going to pay for an interview with Sting, or not an interview, we get the interview. If people are going to pay to get an autograph from Sting, how much are people going to pay to get your autograph?
I think they might give me a cheeseburger.
Honestly, not a bad deal.
Maybe.
Better than a hot dog.
Yeah, I'll take the cheeseburger. The cheese is expensive these days.
Right.
Yeah, it is. A lot of things are expensive here in Las Vegas. That's for sure. So.
Yes, it is. Is it at the convention center?
It is at, there, Joel, I don't know if you remember the place, but it's at the, give me 1 second. Let me pull the website up. I had it. And
My God, it's at the Palms. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not at the Palms. It's
Anything
at the
wrestling has to be at the Palms.
No, it's at the World Market Expo, which is, if you know where the downtown area is by Fremont Street, it's that massive building in there. So, yeah, head on down there and, come on down and check it out. It's going to be awesome all weekend long. And Future Stars of Wrestling is going to be doing some wrestling down there too. So, Brian Cage, Chris Bay are going to be wrestling, and a ton of the FSW guys will be there all weekend long too. And I'm handling the Friday night press conference on that. So tuning into that should be worth it, because I think Danny Limelight's going to hurt me.
I mean, I was told the press conferences are quote unquote cringe. So hopefully yours will not be that way.
No, not with these guys. Trust me. And with mi gente, no, I'm dead.
No,
Jeremy, do you have anything to add?
Cringe. Mark, before I let you go, what's your prediction for Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes?
Jeremy, you keep wanting Roman to win.
That's not true. I've always said Cody Rhodes should win.
That's
right. Not put it out there.
Did you see what I put on your Twitter feed?
I don't.
I put the liar from Princess Bride on there. The witchy woman. Yeah, I put liar up there. You know that's not true. But dude, it's Philadelphia. They're going to have a Rocky piece up there for Cody Rhodes. There's no way in Philadelphia, unless the Link if they want to destroy the Link, they can have Roman win. Cody Rhodes is walking out with the Universal Championship. No doubt about it. It's a done deal, man. Come on. You know the truth. Admit it.
I've always said Cody Rhodes should win. I've never said otherwise. Please do not
get out of here.
I've said otherwise. Mark, we appreciate you joining us one last time. Plug ToyCon in Vegas this weekend.
And your show.
Yes, yeah, thank you. Well, once again, it's VegasToyCon.com. And once again, it'll be at the World Market Expo starting on Friday night, April 5th through the 7th. So you can come in the day and then go watch WrestleMania in the evening. It is going to be an awesome time Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday in the day. And it's going to be amazing. And yeah, please don't forget to listen to my show. I have these bozos on all the time. They're great. Love them to death. But Sunday, 8 to 10 a.m. on KDON 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas, also available on the Odyssey app. And you can find us, we're on YouTube as well, at The Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, at markhokeshow.com on Twitter. It's pretty much just look up Mark Hoke Show. And we want to thank everybody from all around the world that's been listening to us. We certainly do appreciate it and love you guys to death. Thank you for all your help with the show. And Joel, I'll be seeing you for TNA, right?
You will not be seeing me in Vegas.
No,
I ain't going to Vegas this round. I can't. I couldn't get nothing for that one. No, not happening. I'm out.
More sadness. This is
I got enough going on at home. I don't think I'm going to be making that trek anytime soon. I'm sooner to Scotland than I am to Vegas for TNA.
All right, fair enough. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Have a great show, and I will see you again soon.
Thank you, Mark. Looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, take care, fellas.
Take care. Oh, man. Mark Hoke, one and only.
Always
great. Yes, love Mark. Go check out his show. Please check out the Mark Hoke Show. Jeremy and I have both been on at different times. Never together. That's not allowed.
I refuse to do shows with you.
That's right. That's not how it works. But if you go to Mark Hoke Show, he does it every Sunday morning. Go check it out. I woke up infamously at 6:30 in the morning so I could go do that show live in studio with him back when I was in Vegas in January for Hard to Kill. Had a great time. Totally forgot that if you're doing terrestrial radio, there are ad breaks.
You don't have to worry about that.
We don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But I had to worry about that and I forgot about it. So as I'm talking and all of a sudden I hear music in my cans, I was like, oh, that's right. They take breaks here. Oh, you learn. That's how it goes. Anyway, real quick before speed. I mean, we got about 15 minutes. Roster cuts for AEW. We kind of started on that, and then Sean came and Mark came. But let's touch on it real quick. On Monday night during Raw, AEW announced several cuts to their roster, and we'll get to the names, but just the overall feeling that was immediately thought by many was unexpected, something that wasn't. This is something that AEW has never done before. Typically, deals just lapse, they end, and then they either re-sign or they don't, and that's it. Tony Khan has said for since inception of AEW that he wanted to keep deals to the full amount and then end them, when they're done if he needs to. Obviously, certain circumstances will dictate otherwise, but this is the first time we've actually seen cuts for various reasons. One can assume in this case, possibly budgetary. So let's talk about it. Do you want to go through this list?
Sure. Do you have the list in front of you?
I'm about to pull up the list because I completely forgot. But,
so off the top of my head, I don't want to forget anybody. So Joe will mention anybody I do accidentally forget. Okay. Stu Grayson, George Joel, Dasha Currit, Dasha Fuentes, Dasha Gonzalez, The Boys, Slim J, Gravity, Jose the Assistant, Anthony Henry, Parker Boudreaux, and I feel like I'm missing one.
You got The Boys?
Yes.
Boys, Henry, Grayson, Gravity, Fuentes, Slim J, Parker, Jose, and George Joel.
Oh,
that's why
I got them all.
If I missed one, then we screwed up. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
So someone will tell me. So first of all, yes, right off the bat, losing a job sucks. I have been there. Many people have been there. It's not fun, and no one deserves to lose their job. We also happen to be we happen to be covering an entertainment business where people do lose their jobs, and that's kind of part of the deal. A lot of them are going to bounce back, and a lot of them are going to continue working or finding new work afterwards. That is how I always start this conversation. It's never fun, and it does suck. But it is part of this business, and it's known. It's not like anyone was blindsided by the idea of losing their job. There were certain people on that list that certainly took us and others by surprise, in terms of people who were doing a great job and were unanimously liked backstage. Dasha was one of those people. A lot of people immediately said, very positive things about experiences with Dasha and working with her. When I saw Arkady Ora work the Ring of Honor tapings in Toronto a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then Dasha worked the London Collision tapings a couple of days ago. I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're just going to lighten the load and have Arkady do one show and then Dasha does another. Like, it just felt like maybe they were trying this out. Now, in hindsight, I felt like maybe Arkady was getting a tryout for ring announcer. And I don't know why Dasha was let go. It just seems like a lot of people were upset about that because she was very well liked. That was the first one.
Yeah. I don't want to say like none of these were surprising. Nobody on this list was being heavily used, heavily featured. None of this makes sense. It's never good when people lose their jobs. I don't like any releases, any company. I understand that as a business, stuff like this it doesn't have to happen, but it typically does happen. Again, I look at this list and I'm like, all right, none of these guys are really heavily featured on anything. Okay, sure. Anthony Henry, probably the most kind of surprising, especially because he's out with a jaw injury, which didn't happen in AEW, but still, him and JD Draker they're always great as the workhorsemen. So that was a little like, oh, I don't know about that one.
And JD has also been featured on Ring of Honor for the last little while, and on Collision as well. He had a match, so like he's been around. He has been working. So that one did feel a little strange to a lot of people, myself included.
Yeah, I mean, all of it felt strange just because Tony has. I can't find a quote where he's like outright said, "I'll never do mass releases," type of thing. I've covered a lot of Tony Khan interviews. When he's talked about the WWE releases, he has said, when he's talking about the WWE releases and stuff, like, it's terrible that they do this after touting record business and all of these things. He's like, I would not prefer to do that. But I don't, maybe someone can actually pull up, because everyone's just saying like, oh, Tony said it, Tony said it, Tony said it. I don't, somebody, can you point me to where he said it instead of just saying it, that he said it? Like, I would like to actually read what he said. Because I have read his actual quotes, and again, it does come off as like it's something he doesn't. And this was back during the pandemic as well. Look, times change, things change, money changes. But he said it during the pandemic. He was always very proud of the fact he didn't release anybody during the pandemic, and he did have more. He did try to create more jobs for everybody during the pandemic. I can't find like a quote where he said like, I'll never do this. So, if someone can point me to that, please do. I would like to actually read that instead of paraphrasing, instead of, making assumptions or misinterpreting what Tony has actually said. And it still sucks. I hope everybody just kind of bounces back and is able to do stuff, but like, that's not a guaranteed check anymore. And if Slim J is to be believed with his comments, he doesn't sound like it was, the most money in the world in the first place. And now, like, without that coming in, it's obviously going to be even less. So it's an unfortunate situation. It's a sad reality of, I guess, any business. And it's the same thing with WWE. It's the sad reality of the business. And we thought that AEW might be different in that Tony would just kind of honor contracts, and when they ran out, they ran out. And now we've learned that nope, they're gonna do releases when they feel they need to do releases as well.
Busted Open 2021. This is a long quote, so I'm trying not to read the whole thing.
You're probably thinking of pulling up the same quote that I've.
Yes, I think there's a lot of more about job security and so on and so forth. I do brag about being, bringing in a lot of revenue for a startup. But what I will brag about is that we haven't been doing mass layoffs. We haven't fired 15 people last week or 18 people before that. It's not something to be proud of. Let's all those people go. But he putting out press releases, I don't think it's a good thing. He basically brags it, but he basically talks about people being lifers as well, and that he'd extend contracts. That's the thing with Tony. When Tony talks, right? We know this. This isn't it's not a shot at Tony. We talked about this.
That's the quote that I went back to, because people were asking when did Tony say it? When did Tony say it? That's the quote that I remember him saying. And again, if you want to interpret that as Tony saying, we'll never do this, that can be your interpretation of things. He doesn't outright say, we'll never do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking for anything else, but anyway, that'll be something else for later. It's just it's not fun. People lose their jobs, and in a business where it's entertainment, people get recast, people get shuffled around, and like Jeremy said, a lot of these people were not being main focus on TV, and they move on. Some of them are going to land on their feet, and some of them are going to find different paths. That'll be that. But the shocking ones were there. I said it on Twitter. I said, with Stu Grayson, I watched him single-handedly tear down a ring after Mystery Wrestling, after he worked it, and like single-handedly take that thing down, because the dude is strong, and he is talented as hell. Had a good match with Kevin Blackwood, and it sucks to see good talent get passed over for whatever reason. And really, when I asked about it, they were just kind of like, beats us. We don't know why we're not being used. And that was that. Stu's very good. Stu's a great wrestler. If Stu wants to focus on family, and Stu wants to focus on training and training others, Luto 7 is where he primarily does that in Gatineau, Quebec, then great, do it. I hope he does really well and makes a lot of money on it. But it sucks when you're brought in, get signed, do a little storyline, and then that's it. You don't see him again. I don't like that. Those things are what really frustrates me about some of these departures. And then people like Parker, I'm like, I'm just going to leave that alone.
It's unfortunate. Regardless, somebody's asking, were they on per appearance or full time? I'd imagine full time, because if they were on per appearance, it just becomes like, hey, we're not going to use you anymore. Like, I don't know if you need to release people who are on per appearance. So, they used to do tiered contracts in AEW. Cody talked about that a lot, but this, of course, was years ago when Cody was there. Cody hasn't been there in 2 years. So I don't know what the contract structure is in the company anymore. I would imagine if there were per appearance deals, that just comes down to, we're not going to use you anymore. And okay, that doesn't need to be a release type situation. That's just we're not bringing you in. That doesn't need to be announced, confirmed, anything like that.
Yep. Sorry. I'm just on one thing. Supercard of Honor is coming up on Friday. We will have a post show, as far as I understand it, over on youtube.com/Fightful. The reason I say this is because a lot of these talent were involved with Ring of Honor as well. So no huge changes to the card because of this. A lot of people pointing to the boys being part of the Dalton Castle.
They were eaten.
Yeah, John Morrison fight without honor, but they were eaten by bears.
Yeah.
And that's just and also the boys have been multiple boys for a very long time. Oh boy. There have been many boys. Go watch Bobby Fish and Dalton Castle do their show. They do the fish tank. They sat on a chair of boys. So there you go. It exists. Is Speed started?
No, I think, is it?
I don't know. Is it? No, it starts at noon.
Yeah, that started at noon.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
No, it says WWE Speed is here. Hold on.
Yeah, but it's not.
It says starting at 12.
Okay. All right.
Ricochet versus Dragon Lee. Ooh.
What's the deal here?
What do you mean? What's the deal?
Are they showing the entire? Is it the entire episode, or just one match at different times?
I don't know. Is it only one match? Like, or do we have multiple matches?
Are we getting multiple matches? Because otherwise, this watch along is gonna be real quick.
I mean, it was gonna be quick anyway. It's 3-minute matches.
That's very
like.
Right.
This was never gonna be like a long watch along. That's the whole point of it.
That's fair. I thought we were gonna do a 90-minute post show though.
I mean, we can turn this into 90 minutes. We could break this down like move for move, what they should have done different.
I'd really rather not. I don't know what you're doing tonight, but I have to do another post show after AEW Dynamite. So
I don't know. I'll probably be up till 12 covering whatever there is to cover.
Yep. You'll be doing all the articles and talking about all the things while I talk about the show. And then Thursday night I got a post TNA show, and I think I'm solo for that one because Cresta is in Philly. And she's trying to figure out if she's going to Wale Mania or Nigel McGuinness's Magic Show. Do you know the reason why she was wanting to go to one over the other?
Because I don't know. No, why?
She wants to go to the Magic Show more than Wale Mania. Do you know why?
Because Magic is fun.
Magic is fun, but her reasoning is that she can sit at the Magic Show and Wale Mania is standing room only.
Okay, this is completely fair. I respect that.
I cackled when she told me that. That was her reasoning. Oh, so anyway, Cresta's off on Thursday. It'll be me. I might go solo. Maybe I'll bring a friend. Who knows? But there's that. And then I'm doing this.
Why don't you ask me?
You want to do this? Do you want to do the TNA post show on Thursday night?
Absolutely not.
What I thought. We blow those things out in like 40, 45 minutes unless something really silly happens. Then we go.
We'll be done in about 20 if you had me on there.
All you're going to say is, yep, good match.
Good match.
Good match.
Good segment.
Yep. Speedbunk saying it's Mania weekend. Did you see the change to Spring Break? Now Gringo Loco versus Amazing Red. Yes, I saw that. Was it Dralistico that got pulled?
Yeah.
And the prevailing thought is Dralistico gets worked for Supercard?
I would assume so. Otherwise, I don't know why he would have gotten pulled. Roche has been saying he's cleared for like a month now, and they've done vignettes on socials, but they just released Jose as the assistant. So who knows?
Well, yeah, so that they can make room for Thunder, the Rosa.
I don't know. I mean, people, that's what people say, but like, I don't know. Drew Gulak, by the way.
Match, you're not joining the nation.
Drew Gulak, by the way, has responded to Ronda Rousey. So for those that missed it, Ronda Rousey claimed that she was backstage. She was about to go into the writer's room. She was hanging out with Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, and Drew Gulak just came by, pulled her drawstring on her sweatpants, pulled the string on her sweatpants, and walked off. And she was like, what the fuck? What's going on here? What's happening? And Drew Gulak has said, backstage at a WWE event in 2022, I saw Ronda talking with a group in the hallway. I stopped to say hi, to shake all their hands. In an attempt to shake her hand, I accidentally touched her drawstring. Complete accident, and one that I apologized to. And one I had to apologize. I had apologized to her for the mishap. Can't read. One that I had apologized to her for the mishap. So
Yeah, it's a bit
that's
awkward.
Drew Gulak's comment on what happened. I don't know the true story. We have two sides of the story here. If it was he shook her hand, accidentally touched the string on her sweatpants and apologized, okay. Ronda's side of it is he came by and just like yanked the string on her sweatpants and then just like ran off, and that was that. Okay. I was telling the someone the story, and they thought that like she had like a string like hanging from her sweatpants, and he came by and he like pulled it as like, oh, you got a string hanging, and he pulled it and went off like that. So I don't know. It seems like it was the drawstring of the sweatpants, and accident. Don't know. Did he just run off? That's Ronda's claim. We have both sides of it. We have both sides of the story. Maybe Bruce Pritchard will comment on it.
Oh no. Yeah, that's it. We have both sides of the story. That's we got Ronda's, we got Drew's, and how you.
I mean, I know it speaks to a culture issue, and that's what Ronda's point of things is. It was a culture issue. I will say, like, if you're Drew Gulak and Ronda Rousey and Triple H and Bruce Pritchard are saying that Ronda Rousey is like pretty powerful in WWE. She's treated as one of the top people. Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, obviously high-ranking people. If you're Drew Gulak and you're just going by like pulling drawstrings, like you got to feel pretty comfortable to do that in front of them. I don't know. Maybe Drew Gulak did feel that comfortable to do that. That seems, I don't know.
I have nothing to add, only because I heard Ronda's side, heard Drew's side. The truth is somewhere in the middle, and I can't tell you anything else. I can't. And I'm not going to speculate on it because they're two very different tellings of a story of an incident. That's it.
And again, maybe he did feel that comfortable. The culture, we know what the culture is in WWE. Has it changed over the years? Yes, it's changed, at least on screen, for the better. You gotta feel pretty comfortable if you're going to do it the way Ronda says he did it. And maybe he did. Or maybe his side is more truthful and it was an accident and he did apologize. Maybe we'll find out at some point. Speed has apparently started.
Let's go.
All right.
I'm here to take my speed.
Ricochet's doing a springboard clothesline.
Why isn't this working for me? Oh, there it is. Speed is here. We got 2 minutes.
Moonsault by Ricochet.
Can you hear
Maybe
it?
quick covers. What?
Can you hear it in my audio?
No.
Good. Oh, by the way, Stu Grayson got booked for Awful One Wrestling here in Hamilton. So May 19th. Our favorite.
Joel, there's only a minute 50 left. They got to hurry up.
Oh, they got to beat this.
Dragon Lee fighting out of it.
Oh, big boot for Dragon Lee.
The crowd's loving this.
I should hope so. It was the first match they saw that night. Whoa, big jump by Ricochet. Very excited for WrestleMania, Andre the Giant Battle War armbar
This
win.
match is over, halfway over.
No, it's not. They're going to add 5 more minutes.
Uh-oh. Oh, a minute 16 left, folks. This is enthralling.
By the
lot
way,
of
Ricochet's going to
kicks.
win the armbar. That's what I was trying to say.
Kicks and flip.
Oh, Poison Rana lands on his
He
feet.
landed on his feet.
Well, it went down to a knee because he sells.
Right? Then he went to
Lariat inside out. Stan Hansen Larry.
1 minute. Oh, the clock turns red in the final minute.
Ooh, that's how you know they're
My
getting raw.
God.
Yeah, we're counter programming the hump with this great content for you.
Do they know? Like, there's I assume there's a time on the clock, like on the Titantron, so they know. Oh yeah, you can see.
Yeah,
it.
they see it. 40
I want
seconds.
to make sure like they know how much time's left.
Oh, he's picking him up for that. Oh, and the Powerball.
Oh. What if it's a draw?
That would suck. That'd be
I would try to get a
looks
draw.
close.
I'd roll out of the ring.
Yeah, just hug the ring
I feel like
post.
with 9 seconds left, I would just roll out of the ring.
Rick
Uh-oh.
got him up.
Uh-oh. 15 seconds.
Oh,
Oh. That's called the kickback, according to Corey Graves.
sure. The recoil. Also
Oh,
called the
6 seconds.
1,
1,
2,
2.
3.
Oh, with 3 seconds left on the clock.
There
That
you
was a little
go.
count. That might have been a fast count. I
Your
don't know.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal Award winner, Ricochet.
Wow.
Armbar, as I call it.
Gotta say, that's the greatest match in WWE Speed history. He now moves on. I like that the bracket is like mystery.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
it's
next week,
this?
Axiom against JD McDonough.
Let's go. JD McBighead. He's going to make his entrance. It'll take 3 minutes. 3 minutes to get that big old head out the way.
That's it. That's WWE Speed.
That was it. We did it. That was amazing. All right, let's break it down. Move for move.
I can't rewatch. I can't do the replay. Like when I click it again, it just all it does is show me the ad for JD McDonough and Axiom again.
Maybe you have to watch something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Next week, it's going to be another watch along for this show. Maybe. We'll see how we're feeling. You want to do Dynamite?
3-minute matches. Amazing.
That was
ruled.
That was great.
That honestly ruled. All right.
Can you, by the way, y'all leave a thumbs up on this video because we did a great review of WWE Speed for all of you. Last chance for Super Chats. Time for AEW Dynamite preview. The fireworks and the signs being pointed at. Tony's here. He's got a great show for us tonight.
Does he? Is he? Huh?
I don't know. Where are they tonight? They're in Worcester. Worcester.
Gonna bring that woo energy to Worcester.
I'm sure one of the which match is going to be the Worcester branded match? Is it going to be Daddy Ass versus Jay White? Is that going to be the branded match of the night? Will it be a battle of woos in the main event?
No, don't do that.
Go ahead, Tony.
I don't know if I got the energy for this, honestly. It's been
Maybe you need a woo energy. That'll pump you up.
It's been a long week.
Tell me about it. It's only Wednesday. Lemon, it's Wednesday.
It's been a long week.
I get it.
All right.
You set this bit up for yourself. I just came here to be here.
I regret it. Every week, I regret it. I do.
Yeah, I get it.
All right.
It's not like you have any shows to do tomorrow. 8 a.m. Eastern. 8:30,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, 8:30. Yeah.
8:30.
I regret it. But you know what? I don't regret it. I don't regret AEW Dynamite live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. We are live from the DCU Center in Worcester, Massachusetts. We are going to hear from the boss, the CEO, the EVPs. We're going to hear from them all live tonight on AEW Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. We are going to have in the AEW World Tag Team Championship semifinal, the EVPs, the Young Bucks, Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson, taking on the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. You won't want to miss that in the AEW World Tag Team Championship semifinals. It's going to be the EVP, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson against the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. Can Trent and Orange win the second big one? Tune in live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on AEW Dynamite, only on TBS. Plus, we are going to have in the AEW Women's women's division for the AEW Women's Championship #1 contender match. It's going to be the top 2 ranked contenders, Mariah May and former champion Thunder Rosa, going at it. The winner will take on Timeless Toni Storm at AEW Dynamite and AEW Dynasty live on a pay-per-view, only on pay-per-view, only on pay-per-view, only on pay-per-view, April 21st, AEW Dynasty. The only way to watch AEW Dynasty, April 21st, is on pay-per-view. But before we get to AEW Dynasty, we got Mariah May taking on Thunder Rosa in the AEW Women's Division #1 contendership for the AEW Women's Championship. All of that and more, including Daddy Ass Billy Gunn taking on Jay White. This is probably going to be the highest rated match in AEW history for some reason, because the fans love Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass. They absolutely love him. They love Jay White. Tune in tonight, AEW Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern, live only on TBS, to watch Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass take on Jay White, all of that. And we got a contract signing for AEW Dynasty, only on pay-per-view, April 21st. It's going to be AEW World Champion Samoa Joe. He's going to sign the contract to take on #1 contender, top-ranked contender, Swerve Strickland. They're going to sign their contract live tonight, AEW Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. They're going to sign their contract for the AEW World Championship match at AEW Dynasty, only on pay-per-view, April 21st. Plus all of that, and it's going to be Don Callis on commentary for the Battle of Wills. It's going to be Powerhouse Will Hobbs taking on the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. The Battle of Wills, haha, get it? It's Don Callis on commentary for the Battle of Wills. Will Ospreay, Will Hobbs, only on AEW Dynamite live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS. And we've got Chris Jericho. He's going to call out Hook. What's he going to call him out for? I don't know. Your t-shirts are too tight too, Billy. Don't know why Chris Jericho's calling out Hook, but Chris Jericho's calling out Hook live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS, the same way Sheldon Cooper calls out Penny for doing things on Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory on TBS right before AEW Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. It's going to be live tonight in Worcester, Massachusetts from the TCU Center. We got a tremendous lineup for everybody. Thank you to all the great AEW fans. It's a big week in the world of wrestling, and we are going to kick it all off live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, AEW Dynamite, only on TBS. Thank you for this gigantic week in the world of wrestling. Watch all the AEW live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. Thank you to the great AEW fans. Justified. This is awesome, gent.
Battle of Wills. You get it? Because one guy's name is Powerhouse Hobbs, right? And his first name is Will. And the guy he's facing, his last name's Ospreay. Yeah, that's fine. But his first name is also Will. It's Battle of Wills. It's really funny.
Will Washington should come out and just slap the shit out of both of them.
Special guest referee Will Washington. I'm all for it.
Will Washington showing up and just being like, bam, slapping them both and just see what happens. Inoki Washington over here.
Asserting dominance, Will Washington. Oh. It's a great Battle of Wills going on. Anyway, I'll be on the post show with Alex Pulaski tonight. It's going to be fun. I haven't done a full post show with Alex. I'm sure it's going to turn out real interesting. So that's a moment in time for me. Very excited for that. Anything else to plug this week before we go?
Yeah, actually, I want to plug this.
Probably should.
Let the record show. I have always said Cody Rhodes should win in the main event of WrestleMania 40.
Steven Jensen is compiling receipts right now. You should probably go back in your timeline.
We interviewed Teal Rhodes last night, the sister of Cody Rhodes. When I tell you
the planned one, unlike Cody.
We brought that up. We mentioned that.
Good. I'm glad.
We did mention that with her. When I tell you Steven Jensen threw me under the bus.
Good.
Drove the bus over me. Backed the bus up over top of me again.
Love it.
Got out. Looked into the camera. And said, look at you now. Huh? Look at you. Look at him, Mama Lambert. Got back in the bus, drove over me again.
And then hit that bus with a giant ambulance.
It was a very fun interview. very fun interview with Teal Rhodes. I got everything I deserved when it comes to Jensen. Had every right to do that to me after the year I've spent trolling him with Roman Reigns, the year I've spent trolling a lot of people with Roman Reigns should beat Cody. I deserved it all. And you can watch me cowardly back down to Teal Rhodes.
I'm so excited for this interview. Listen, here's the reality. I could go and watch it right now on my own. No, I want to see the real-time reaction to this, because that's just fantastic. I need to see this. That's going to be a great episode.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I'll talk more about it. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. I'll probably share some stuff after the interview airs, but it was a lot of fun. Teal's great. If you are in Philadelphia, head to WrestleCon. They're selling Mama Rhodes shirts. It all goes to the Dusty Foundation. They're helping amateur wrestling in Philadelphia. So they're doing great work with the Dusty Rhodes Foundation. And can't thank Teal enough for spending time hanging out with us for like 40 minutes. The interview is about 40 minutes. So there
we go. If you're at Philly, if you're at WrestleMania week, go have a great time. Be good to each other. Don't talk shit behind each other's back. Be good. Word gets around. This is a small business. Let's face it. People talk. People know. Those locked accounts, you never know who could be lurking behind them. So just be good to each other, okay? No Indeed tonight, because Reg is in the aforementioned Philadelphia area, and Mike is taking a well-deserved week off. And then who's out? Is anyone on Thursday? What do we do? Do we have a show on Thursday?
No, I don't know.
No, that's fine. We'll drop content like we do every day on this channel, and then Jeremy and I'll come back on Friday. We'll preview a little WrestleMania. We're not going to go match by match, but we'll talk about stuff. We'll talk about Dynamite, I'm sure of it, and a whole slew of other stuff. Go get yourself a cheesesteak if you're in Philly. Till then, I'm Matt Joel Pearl, JOELPERL. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, go watch Spotlight tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. that's Eastern time, on youtube.com/Fightful, and we'll see you here on Friday. Cheers.